from Forsyth County, and today I will be talking about minorities and discrimination. As the extraordinary person Ayn Rand once said, the smallest minority on earth is an individual. Those who deny individual rights cannot claim to be defenders of minorities. The world contains 7 billion people, spread out across 7 continents, all different and unique in ways that others can never understand, whether it be skin deep or not. People are all different, something we grow up learning, a fact that is generally considered common knowledge. There are many different people in the United States alone, with 51% of the country being female, 37% of the people being a racial minority, and 3.8% being part of the LGBTQ+ community. Women are discriminated against every single day. According to Merriam-Webster, feminism is the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes. Many people perceive feminism as women against men, but in truth, that is not the case. Feminism is a fight for equality, not the fight for power. I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and she asked me why I am a feminist. I told her I'm a feminist because of what I have witnessed in the short time I have been alive. I've witnessed females threatened by men they have never met. I've read horror stories of women walking home in the middle of the night, keys clutched tightly between their fingers, helpless against their attacker. Girls are taught from the day they enter the 7th grade not to take a drink from a strange man or dress like they are asking for it. I took a school mandatory health class this year in which we had the Choosing the Best program, traditionally known as sexual education, in which the girls were told not to trust a man in a bar, not to drink without a sober friend nearby, and not to trust any man that seems like a nice guy. Not once were the boys told, you should not be victimizing women who just wanted to go out. The world that we live in tells girls not to victimize themselves, never telling boys not to attack in the first place. That girls are meant to be ladylike and perfect, boys are told that they will be boys, giving them an excuse. If rape was about having sex, then the percentage of women who have been raped would be lower than 19%. It is about power. On October 9th, 2012, Malala Yousafzai was riding home from school when a masked man stopped her bus, proceeding to shoot her, and in the process, injuring 2 of her friends. She was shot because she is an education activist for girls all over the world. She survived the attack, and since then has become an emblem of education and feminism. She has stood proud and tall, being both female and Muslim, part of 2 minorities. But she will not let that bring her down, and has spoken to thousands of people about the issues she and hundreds of other girls face every day. As stated by girlsnotbrides.org, 1 in 3 girls in the developing world are married before the age of 18. Most of these girls will never get an education past the 5th grade, or any at all. These girls are not getting the chances to choose what they want to do because of their gender. In today's culture, people are judged based on how they look, how they talk, what they believe in, and what they identify as. 72% of America is white, 13% is African American, 5% is Asian, and the remaining 10% is people of other races. Hispanic and Latino Americans of any race make up 16% of the population, although it is not considered a race, but an ethnicity by the United States Census Bureau. As I am in a position of privilege, it is my responsibility to use that to help others who are discriminated against. Every day at school or around town, I see people who are teased, oppressed, and generally bullied because of the color of their skin or their religion. I was walking home from the local park one night with a few of my friends, most of us being Caucasian. We were stopped by a policeman to make sure we were all right and that we were almost home. In that moment, most of my friends were calm. He was just a man making sure we were safe. But to my Latino friend, that was one of the scariest encounters she has ever had. People who do not have the same privilege as I do grow up with the thought that, without any prior knowledge into their character, they're going to be pronounced different than I am and get treated unfairly. As Martin Luther King Jr. said in his famous I Have a Dream speech, I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. When someone cannot voice their own opinion on a matter concerning them, they are being oppressed. The African American Civil Rights Movement began in 1954 and ended in 1968, lasting a total of 14 years, even though people today are still fighting for basic rights. Many people made an amazing impact upon the world in this movement, such as American civil rights icons Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks. On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat in the colored section of the bus to a white passenger. She is now known as an influential figure in African American rights. On August 28, 1963, during the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, Martin Luther King Jr. said his moving I Have a Dream speech. He called for an end to racism in economics and civil rights, as we all should be doing now in the world we live in. So many people have given their lives to their own personal cause, and many of those people have been part of the LGBTQ+ community. In recent years, society has begun to accept these people more, but a large percentage of people still are not being accepted into society because of who they love. LGBTQ+ people have been killed because of what they identify as and who they love for centuries, and most people are too afraid to show who they truly are to even their closest family members. Many families force their children to be straight using means of torture if necessary, forcing them to suppress who they truly are. Imagine if, one day, a person decided that everyone with green eyes is wrong and should have to wear colored contacts to cover up the green in their eyes. The green-eyed people, who have done nothing to harm anyone else, are now forced to hide who they are. That is how LGBT people feel every day when they are told that they are wrong for who they are. People are very accepting of LGBT people now, but there's still a lot stuck in the past of our nation and world. Many people grew up learning one thing, not concerned with how other people feel. In the late 70s, the LGBT rights movement began to spread across the country. People protested against the unfair treatment that they were given. In 1981, the AIDS epidemic began to affect America. AIDS was originally called GRID, standing for Gay-Related Immune Deficiency, as it started by only appearing in gay men, giving people leverage to segregate. In 1985, the AIDS Memorial Quilt was made, commemorating the thousands of deaths of people who died from the epidemic. The world is changing now and moving forward. People are becoming more accepting of someone different than them, and that is affecting the world. Many people march and peacefully protest to show how they feel. These people affect the world and our future in ways that they cannot imagine. They're helping to show other, more closed-minded people that the world is changing. As Maya Angelou once said, in diversity, there is beauty, and there is strength. We, as a species, are becoming more diverse in every way, and no one is going to bring this down. Thank you.